started with the induction ceremony. The reason that you all showed up tonight is for these beautiful people. Okay, we're gonna try to get people to settle down in the back over there so we can get started and give our first inductee their undivided attention. So we're gonna get started. I think, as adults, we kind of settle in once we see people coming in. So the way this is gonna happen, everyone, is that we're gonna call up inductee after inductee. They will have someone who comes up for them who will give a short speech to introduce them, and then that particular person will then come up, give their speech, receive their accolades, their plaque, take pictures, and then we move on, okay? So our first person that we're going to introduce tonight is Jason DeLawrence, class of 1994, football and basketball, and he's being introduced by his sister, Tracy Peterson. I think I know you.
You do? Oh, I know you. I did. I used to be the principal at Lacrosse.
That's right. Okay, I knew you from somewhere. Okay.
She did. All right. Good evening and congratulations to all of the inductees this evening. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing my baby brother. Now, when you're the youngest sibling, you can sometimes spend a portion of your childhood either emulating or distinguishing yourself from your older siblings. At times, the younger sibling grows up in the shadow, either good or bad, I like to think that mine was good, of that older sibling. My baby brother has often remarked how when he was coming up through Windsor Public Schools, he'd hear from many teachers, "Oh, you're Tracy's brother." Although some of you in the room might have said, "Oh, you're Tracy's brother." One thing is for certain, that younger siblings know what their older siblings are up to or involved in. But older siblings don't always know what their younger siblings are doing. Yes, I knew something about an all-star travel basketball team in middle school, whatever. I could not escape knowing about the cult-like participation in the Windsor Giants family forever. And someone somewhere told me he was playing high school basketball and football, but I wasn't around, so I didn't know. And then, the summer of 1991, a very interesting phenomenon started to occur. When I would come back from college and I would meet people and talk to them, they would start saying to me, "Oh, you're Jason's sister." Imagine the shock and horror that someone was referring to me as Jason's sister, not Tracy's brother. And each year, it got worse and worse. And I realize now it got worse because his star was shining brighter and brighter, and there was no longer a shadow that he was living under. And so he went on to play at the University of Rhode Island, and today coaches young people in Rhode Island. He brings them to recruiting events and college games to gain perspective and exposure. He continues to be a diehard Eagles fan, a killer when he was on the field, but the most compassionate, kind son, father, friend, and brother. And so I will end my introduction like this. I actually, embarrassingly, only saw my brother play football once. It was when he was at the University of Rhode Island. I was living in Pennsylvania, and he was playing the University of Delaware. And my mother says, you should go see your brother play. And I say, fine, to get her off my back. And I go, and I'm late, so I have to sit with the Delaware fans. And I get there, and I'm laughing and chatting with them. And he's on the bench, and so I'm like, what's all the hype about? And at some point, someone taps me on the shoulder, and they say, I think your brother got in the game. And not only did he get in the game, but he made his first college touchdown on that day. And I stood there proudly, as I will today, and said, hey, I'm Jason's sister. He just made that touchdown. And so it is my pleasure to introduce to you Jason DeLawrence.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? I am so honored and blessed to be part and be inducted into the Windsor High School Athletic Hall of Fame. Windsor is a wonderful, wonderful town. I live in Rhode Island now, and I tell them all the time, like, I grew up in the best town because of doing things like this. Playing for the Giants, playing on the 6th grade All-Star team, playing high school sports, football and basketball. But I was blessed to play with a lot of great people and have a lot of great coaches. And there'll be no way that I'll be able to do this without them. So thank you guys for the people I played with and for the people that coached me. You truly made me the man I am today. But there's 3 people in individual that I would not have been as good in sports if it wasn't for them. The first person you guys just heard from her, my sister. She truly is always a hard act to follow. People used to always say to me, I'm so coachable. JD, you're such a coachable person. Like, you listen to us, you take directions well, you're able to follow our rules. Well, I've been being coached from my sister since the birth. She was the one who always told me what to do, where to go, and how much to do it. And I thank her so much for that because she never steered me wrong. I would not be the player I was without her. The second is my mother. Now, my sister saw me play 1 game. My mother probably saw me play 2. Senior night football, senior night basketball. But when I went home with my dirty clothes and my stinking uniform, throw it in the garage, it'll be fresh and clean the next day. Come home starving, ready to eat from a game, from practice, there was food on there ready to go. And then she'll listen to me complain about the refs, how they were cheating, why we lost the game. The third person, unfortunately, is not here, is my father. Now, my mom only seen me go 2 games. My father was at every single game I ever had my whole life. He let me play football, which was a big thing, playing for the Windsor Giants, because my father was the church man. He's like, oh, you can't be missing church, Jason. So we went to Sunday school, then I snuck off and went to the games. He always was there. I would smell the cigar smoke. Back then you could smoke on the sidelines. And knew he was at the game, and it just brought me a comfort level for me to play my best. He would be so proud of me if he was here today, and I completely love him, and he made me the man I am. So thank you, Windsor High Athletic Hall of Fame, for inducting me. Congratulations to all the other inductees. It's an honor going in with my man Russell, who we play sports together our whole life. And thank everybody. That's okay.
Yeah, so go Rhodey. Go Rhodey. So our next, I'm going to just introduce our next person who could not be here tonight. There was an emergency that occurred in her family, and so she was not able to be here. It's Paula Timlin Cunningham. So if she were here, she grew up in Windsor, and she participated in every sport in town that the town had to offer, from swim to the swim team, to softball, to soccer, tennis, and gymnastics. And at an early age, she began to emerge as a standout in several sports, winning many local and state competitions, including the Hershey State track meets and various tennis tournaments. By the time she was in the 8th grade, she had developed into one of the top soccer players in the state. She was selected for the Olympic development team, select Olympic training camps, national player development, and select regional teams representing the New England states. As a freshman in high school, it was not surprising that Timlin found herself as a starting position on the varsity team and soon making significant contributions on the field. By her sophomore year, Paula had assisted Windsor High School in winning their first ever state championship in girls soccer, which was in 1992. And Paula's athletic success did not stop there on the soccer field. During her high school career, she was also a significant contributor to the girls' basketball, tennis, and lacrosse teams, earning varsity sports on all 4 teams all 4 years. During her career at Windsor High School, Timlin earned herself a total of 12 varsity letters, 4 All-CCC West honors, 3 All-State awards, and 1 state championship. Please keep Paula in our prayers, and welcome into the Hall of Fame, Paula Timlin Cunningham. Our next inductee is Russell Scott, class of 1995 basketball. And I'm not sure who's introducing him because it doesn't say here, but whoever it is, please come forward. Is it Scott? Is you? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Steve. Appreciate
Why
you.
you write it down?
I don't know. I didn't know where to write it. Good evening, everyone. I have the pleasure of representing Russell Scott, who not only is from LP, throw it up, I see that table over there, but I had the opportunity of living next door to him growing up my entire life. So with that, played for Coach Smith. Where you at, Coach? I see you. My freshman year, Russell was a senior. They went to the state championship and unfortunately didn't get to where they needed to be. So my senior year, we had to hold it down. But with that, this is about Russell. This is about how he influenced me and other people in his community, as well as a grown-up, an adult, influencing his family and just encouraging people to be great. So what I will say in short about Russell, I want to thank him, and not just thank him, but I see Mr. Scott, his father, in the building, and everybody else. They when I say I was growing up, they took me to church, they took me to basketball games, they took me everywhere. So again, I'm honored to announce Russell Scott as a 1,000-point scorer and a 1,000-point rebounder. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, one of only 2 players in Windsor High history to reach that 1,000-point and 1,000 rebound realm. So congratulations to you, Russell, on being inducted in the 2024 Windsor High Hall of Fame. I look at you like my big brother, because you are. Continue to keep in contact. And again, congratulations.
Good evening, good evening. I'm not big on words, so you don't have to worry about me being up here too long. But definitely want to thank Stephen, man. You are my little brother. Known you my whole life. Remember all the games we played in the backyard, playing on a little court. Watching you grow and lead your family is a blessing. So thank you for stepping in for me tonight. The other thing, I just want to thank my LP family. Like he said, have some brothers that's here today. Dave Nevers and Egu Wampa, of course, JD. I was telling him a little bit earlier, I said, man, we used to sit in your backyard on your porch and talk about sports, you know, forever. And you are right, Mr. Joson would be very proud of you today. So congratulations to you, my friend. I'd be crazy to stand up here and not just repeat one saying, and that would be, it's not who you play, it's how you play. That was our motto. I don't know if they still use it. Coach, y'all still use that? You know it. Well, I can tell you it's still raining down through history because I run a girls travel basketball program in North Carolina now, and we've adopted that motto. So it's being taught to the next generation, hopefully moving forward. But that laid the groundwork, you know, for who I was. There was a funny story here. They talk about me being a 1,000-point, 1,000-rebound player. We were just talking about it at the table. My brother used to pay me $20 for every rebound. Most people say, I'm gonna give you money for points. He give me money for rebounds. So that was a little motivation. So that's my big brother right there. Big Rob, I love you, man. Appreciate you being here. My dad, as he said, Mr. Robert Scott, appreciate everything you instilled in me, everything you taught me growing up. A lot of my work ethic comes from you, seeing the type of man you were and still are. To my baby girl, I got my youngest daughter here. I have two daughters. My oldest daughter couldn't be here tonight because she plays collegiately back home in North Carolina. She had a game today, and I was able to watch her play, score 15 points today, and a win. So very proud of that. My youngest daughter, Malia, she's here tonight. Funny thing, but she's never going to hear the end of this. I coached both of them, and now when you don't want to listen to me, I'm going to say, you know, I'm a Hall of Famer. So it's going to get a lot of use in my household. But Coach Smith, great mentor, man. You were there for me along the way. Even when I went to my first school, things didn't go great there. And like you said, you got the call from my dad talking about what they doing to my baby. But you rode for me, got me to my next destination. And we'll always be tight, always be loved by me and my family. So I appreciate you and everything you do in Windsor. Like, please, if y'all can give him a hand. Everything he's done for the Windsor basketball community in general. I don't get a chance to come up a lot and see a lot of games because my blood's thinned out. I'm in North Carolina, like I said. It's too cold up here in the winter, so I can't do it. But I do, every chance I get, still watch the majority of your games online. So very proud of the boys and look forward to seeing them having another great year this year. But just to sum that up, I just want to thank everybody that had any small piece in acknowledging me and honoring me with this Hall of Fame designation. It means the world to me. I enjoyed my time as a resident growing up in Windsor. Very diverse community. I wish there was more places like it, but I definitely enjoyed my time here. So thank you guys again. I appreciate it. And have a good night.
Ghost, you did your thing, man. You did it. All right, we talked about it earlier. You did your thing. Good stuff. Congratulations. So our next inductee is going to be Jordan Wilson, class of 2010 indoor and outdoor track. And introducing Jordan is his father, Ron Wilson.
Good evening, everyone. I'll try to be brief, but there's some accolades that I want to get to at some point. One Halloween morning, my wife and I got up to go to the Delaware State University homecoming game, and she went into labor. A few hours later, we had a 10-pound, 1-ounce baby boy. I knew we were onto something. We were both college athletes. I knew we had something there. Turned out that Jordan came into his own. He was young because he had birthday was the end of the year, so he was younger than everyone else. And we didn't even really manifest itself until senior year. He played his senior year of football. He was 16 throughout the whole season. But prior to that, I talked to him because he was really fast, and I said, track is going to be good. He liked football, but track was more his thing. So I remember one time we went to he was playing B team football, and the A team, they were the bigger kids. I went over to the coach and said, "Coach, I got a kid that can outrun anybody on your team." And they were like, "No way." These young kids, Jordan beat them all. And I said, yeah, we're on to something. So because my wife and I were both long jumpers, my son Justin was state champion long jump. My daughter Ronnie jumped. Jordan just followed in on that. And ended up, I was trying to think, because I coached at Windsor for 16 years for track, if there was anyone else that won 4 state championships in an individual event. And I'm not sure that there is. It had required a little more thought, but he won 4, and I'm gonna tell you when and where. We were fortunate to have Jordan in the one state championship, the first state championship for Windsor boys track. Both my sons were on, and Jordan was long jumping. But he also was the Class L state champion in 2009, indoor and outdoor. 2010, Class L and state open champion in the long jump. And still currently holds the Windsor High School record in the triple jump at 48 feet 6 inches. And that's been 13 years. Really proud of Jordan. He did what he needed to do academically. He got a scholarship, went to Delaware State University, graduated. And that was big because he was, at that time, I think the 13th person in my family to graduate from Delaware State University. And all 4 of my kids graduated from there. But he ran track there, was on a track scholarship. Got his master's at Springfield College in social work, and now is a therapist, helping other youngsters find their way. Has a child of his own, and it's my honor to introduce my son, Jordan Wilson.
Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? So I do have a speech, and no, I did not memorize it, so bear with me. This is an incredible honor it is to stand here tonight. As I look out and see, former teammates, teachers, coaches, classmates, and friends, I'm filled with gratitude and memories from the years here. This school was where I learned some of the life's greatest lessons, not only in the classroom, on the field, or on the track, but also in the community as well. To be inducted into the Hall of Fame is truly, truly humbling, especially when I look back at all the amazing individuals who shaped this school's legacy over the years. This place has been the cornerstone of who I am, and being recognized among such remarkable alumni is something I could never have imagined back then. I grew up in a pretty active and athletic family. It seems like I've been doing sports since I could walk. My parents actually met, as my dad said, they met on the track at DeLawrence State University. I'm just thankful and very blessed to have them in my life. I can truly say that they set the foundation for me and my siblings, and not just in all aspects of life, not just, sports, but in all aspects. I miss track. I definitely miss track, to be honest. I just miss the anticipation, the nervousness, the rush, and of course I miss the win for sure. I remember the first time the news came to high school to interview me when I won the state championship for the long jump. And that was a moment when I said, hey, I might actually be good at this. I want to thank all my coaches, all of you guys, throughout my whole entire high school career. People like Coach Welch, Coach Fleeting, Coach Benaj, and many more here. Thank you all. You guys really played a big part of my upbringing. I want to thank people like my older brother, Justin Wilson, who was actually inducted about 2 years ago. What's up, bro? But man, my brother, he's always been a star in everything he does. He was my motivation to go hard and to win, most importantly. People like my father, Ronald Wilson, who is the best father any man could ask for, the best track coach as well. He's honestly like me and my siblings' biggest support. My father is probably the most selfless man I know. He always made sure he put me and my siblings first, and was always behind us in everything we do. He pushed us to be great and always strive for success in anything that we do. The drive that he installed into us and me is the reason why I'm standing here right now. I was lucky enough to receive a scholarship to run track at DeLawrence State University, which is the same school that all my family went to. So it was like home. The college experience was amazing, but it was nothing compared to the family and community that I've established at Windsor with my former teammates and coaches. So today, I am a mental health therapist. I work with younger kids to help motivate them for their own success story. I have a beautiful daughter, Jahira Wilson, love of my life. Hi, baby. I also started my own holistic health and wellness business called First Generation Vegan. And one of the main reasons why I started the business was to educate the youth and others that health is truthfully the only real wealth, you know what I mean, and that we have in this world, our health. And we have to be conscious of our bodies and what we put into it. So I think that that's important. I hope one day to connect my therapy with my holistic health and wellness, because when your mind, body, and spirit is in alignment, there's no stopping you. Thank you for this tremendous honor. And it is a privilege to be here and to share this moment with you all tonight. Thank you.
Okay. I hear that. We can all get that going. You want me to help you with it, young lady? Daddy. All right. I didn't realize you got that tall, Jordan. Real tall. All right, so our next inductee is Aaron Berardino, class of 2012, football and baseball. Introducing Aaron is Mark Welsh.
Yeah, I'm old because I brought a piece of paper with me, not a phone, so bear with me, please. But I just want to say good evening to everybody. And, you know, it's great to see some old friends. And I truly respect everybody that's in this building tonight. Coming from the coaching ranks of Windsor High School, obviously, and having my children go through there, this is very exciting and important. And I'm really thankful to be here and have this opportunity. I want to thank, of course, the board for the Windsor High School Hall of Fame Committee, because I know what it takes to put something like this on. And I'm sure that, just like me, I really appreciate and welcome all the inductees, and I'm sure the families appreciate all of the inductees appreciate the work you do as well. I want to congratulate the 2024 class on your great accomplishments and achievements. A lot of, you know, older athletes that when I first moved to Windsor, I kind of learned to know. So it's been a great thing coming here. But the main reason I'm here, obviously, is to induct Aaron into the Windsor High School Athletic Hall of Fame. I'm not only grateful, but also thankful I did have 1 year with Aaron, coaching him as his football coach here at Windsor High School. I'm going to go through a lot of accolades and stuff, but I'm going to end with something that I think is certainly much more important as to what we do here as coaches and in sport. But Aaron, it goes without saying, I started him as a freshman, so it just tells you that when you see talent in front of you, I think you realize what you have, and there's no reason to wait to let a person play if he's able to. I would consider Aaron, you know, an impact player, a playmaker, baller. He does things you don't coach. He makes the coach look good. And I've always appreciated that in Aaron, and I've always, I know it's weird, but I go back and watch a lot of highlights, so, but I appreciate it. But Aaron received all Connecticut team honors. He was a 2-time All-State recipient, 3-time All-Conference, All-Star MVP, Hartford Courant Player of the Year. Hartford Courant used to be a newspaper. No. Walter Camp Award winner. Had 4 touchdowns receiving and 4 interceptions in the same game. Quite a feat. And there's many, many other things that he's done. He's obviously a multi-sport athlete. Went on to Central Connecticut to be and performed for a couple years there as a great special teamer, as well as showing his athletic ability as a defensive back. So it just shows you what kind of athlete he was. But that's my next point. Athletes, we tend to use that scoreboard to judge who we are or who we end up in life. And I just want to say that Aaron, beyond the scoreboard, the athletic field, and everything else, I appreciate him for what he's accomplished in life after football. He's a son, he's a brother, he's a father. His professional life is amazing, being an engineer. He's an entrepreneur. So I just want to say that as sport goes and we learn those lessons on the field, it's always good to see that those lessons are true and people do become greater than just what we see on the scoreboard. And Aaron is the epitome of that. So without further ado, if I could, I'd like to introduce to you Aaron Berardino. And if I could coin a phrase, often imitated but never duplicated, here's Aaron Berardino, class of 2024, Windsor High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Feels good to be here tonight. Thank you everyone for showing up. Like Jordan, I'm not memorizing anything, but tell you what, it's honestly amazing to be here tonight, sitting in front of friends, family, co-Hall of Famers. Feels good. Feels appreciative. Big shout out to Coach Welsh. You didn't need to be here, but you did, and I love you for that. Throughout the years of being involved with sports, you listen to coaches, you listen to players, you listen to a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. You don't know what to take in. But I tell you what, things I've heard over the years and things I've felt were knowledge, pain, love, and strength. Made me who I am today. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm from Coach Fleet, Coach Welsh, all the coaches throughout time. And it feels good. But words that stuck with me, dedication, passion, commitment. And I was going through my MacBook from 2011, not too long ago. You go through notebooks and everything else like that. And I wrote something before I went to college. And it was, dedicating my time to a skill I'm passionate about will forever make my commitment so much more fulfilling. So long story short, love what you do and give it your all until there's nothing else to give. So if you have a dream out there, whatever it may be, it could be the smallest, go after it, love it, and it's gonna be a great feeling in the end. I wanna take a moment out, just shout out one of the angels looking over me, my quarterback, Altman Jr. Smith. He passed away not too long ago. And that hurt me because he was a friend, a brother, a genuine gentleman. Love you. Also, Coach Kevin Moses, one of my original coaches from Windsor High with Welsh. He passed away not too long ago, and if you're from Connecticut, you know, he was an athlete, and he was all around baseball, basketball, whatever it may be. Just want to give him a shout out as well. So, to this day, you come across people you went to high school with, you come across people you went to college with, and everything else like that, and they're talking about who has better sports or whatever like that. And to this day, I just laugh and smirk and always say, Windsor has a powerhouse. And that's with the Jordan Wilsons, the Sidney Overs, the Chris Bakers. It doesn't matter what it is. We produce year after year after year. And I just want to let everyone know that's getting inducted tonight. I love you. It's all love. We're 24. You hear me? I just want to give a huge shout out to the Windsor High Hall of Fame committee. Appreciate you guys for inducting me, giving me the time of day. It's been 10 years, but it doesn't even feel like it. Time's flying. And I really do appreciate the time and everything you guys have done. Miss Over, thank you. It's a great milestone I can share with my daughter, Araya, and her beautiful mother, Angelica. Thank you for being here tonight, baby. I'm just grateful to be here tonight. I'm grateful for everyone being here. And it's a great moment to share with each and every family member. It doesn't matter what it is. And it's just going to get better from here. It's a great journey, and the journey's only going to get better. So God is good all the time.
Coach Wells, I got paper up here too, so I got to use the paper. You know what I mean? I guess we dating ourselves right now, right? So, our next inductee, Sydney Over Massaro. Did I get that right? Massaro. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I knew I was going to get it later, but that's all right. Sydney Over Massaro, class of 2013, track, cross country, and basketball. Introducing Sydney, it's her brother, Devin Over.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, I'm glad I'm up. I have more to share from last year, so no, I'm kidding. So growing up, if anyone knows our family, we were extremely competitive at all times, and I can honestly say Sydney was probably by far the most competitive. If anyone knows, family game nights in the Overhouse was outlawed when I was 10 because Sydney flipped over a life board when she got the shack, and we would play in the backyard. I'd have friends over. Fortunately, my parents were both teachers, so we had summers off and hang by the pool. And I'd have friends over, and we would beat the crap out of Sydney every day. She would go home crying, go inside crying, never want to hang out. And every single day, the next day, she was back out there competing, whether it was swimming or running, or even if we tried to make her play some baseball, she tried her best. She wasn't very good at that, but she was good at pretty much everything else. When people think of Sydney, I think the first thing they think of is track, but I remember when she was young, she was really good at kind of everything. Soccer, she used to score a ton of goals, and she had no foot skills, but again, she would outrun the defense and, tap it past the goalie and score 2-3 goals a game. And I'd be like, Sydney, how do you do this? I play soccer. She's like, you just, kick it past and run by him and put it in there. It's easier said than done, I guess. Basketball, she was, I always joked that she was terrible at basketball, but she was also a 4-year varsity starter. So much better than me. And we joke, if you didn't know what day basketball tryouts started, you could hear at 3:30 p.m. the day before some dribbling in our backyard. And that'd be Sydney, getting in her one day of practice, putting up some layups. And then the next day you would, go to tryouts and she's blocking shots, running up down the court, making layups. And again, I think it just spoke to the ultimate competitive nature she had. With track, however, I think, that was Sydney's first love and main love, and she always will love it. I like to take a little bit of credit because Sydney was basically running before she was walking. Because, when she tried to walk, I would come and slide tackle her. So she had to learn how to run pretty fast. I remember at Welch Park, if anyone was there playing Little League after games, we would all, hang out on the field, and Sydney would race any boy from, 6 to 16 years old in her bare feet and beat pretty much every single one of them. I think I could beat her because by the time she could beat me, I stopped running. And I think maybe Ryan Wahab, I don't think he ever beat him. He was pretty fast. But everyone else, she would smoke. So it was no surprise when one day in middle school we got Hershey track and field tryouts, and Sydney was like, I'm going to do this. And she won, and won by a lot. And she kept winning, and she kept going on. And next thing you know, we're in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And then it's 6 years in a row, and we're in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And my mom's like, Sydney's pretty good. I'm like, how good's Sydney? And they're like, well, in 7th grade, she would have won high school state championships by 3 seconds. There's a ton of accolades on there I could go through. She was a 5-time All-American, numerous state titles. I don't even think it says on there. 2-time current athlete of the year. But the thing that was honorable about Sydney, it wasn't just winning. She always pushed herself to be the best. It was never about if she won, it was, did I get the time? She dedicated herself not only on the track and in the weight room, but also in the classroom. I can truly say I wouldn't have been, the athlete I was if it wasn't for Sydney. It's easy when you're the older brother and you're looking, and I'm dying to play college baseball, and Sydney's like, ew, UCLA, throwing in the trash, all these letters from schools people would dream of. And, she really challenged me to be a better, not only person and athlete, but brother. To this day, I'm still so proud of her and everything she's accomplished in life. She's a wonderful husband who thankfully I'm friends with. She ran track professionally and is now a lawyer at a big corporate firm in New York. And, again, her competitive nature has always shown through, and she's always been an ultimate team player. And, we're all so proud of you in the Over household. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Sydney Over Massaro.
Listen, I got paper too, and I'm not even 30, so I'm gonna say it's old school, not old. Thank you. Good evening. I wanna congratulate all the other inductees tonight, especially those from 2013. Shout out my class. My class, I'm just gonna brag about us for a little bit. We had a lot of great talent. 3 of us tonight. I know that there's so many more to come, so can't wait to see all that happens in the future. I also want to thank Coach Vinny. He nominated me to be here tonight. He was my basketball coach for my first 3 years at Windsor High. And as Devin said, everyone knows, most people know me for running, cross country, and track. But I did play basketball from when I was about 5 or 6 all the way up until I graduated high school. And I loved it. I know everyone expected me to run indoor, and it was just never going to happen. The friends that I made was so great. The times that I had, it was just also a very good break from running. This is my plug for anyone to let your kids play multiple sports. But it was also great to have a coach that knew that track was my number one thing and didn't hold that against me, right? He supported me in everything. He would let me go do a little quick hour workout before our 4:30 practice. But they would still, do whatever they could to develop me as a basketball player and make me the best basketball player I could be. One of my coaches, Coach Hogan, is no longer with us, sadly. And I just remember working one-on-one with him a lot, and he would just be like, Sydney, if you would just pick up a basketball, more than a week before the season started, just do it, Sydney, please. Never did, sorry, Hogan. But it was just nice to have that support, even though it wasn't my number one sport, also from my senior coach, George Curry, as well. So I was really lucky to have such great coaches. And not only did I have great coaches, but I have a great family, too. My brother, who introduced me, he was an amazing athlete in his own right. He got inducted into the Hall of Fame last year. And as we know, he loves to say he got his speed because of me. Or I got my speed because of him, sorry. I never crawled as a baby. I started walking at 8 months old. As you know, when I learned to walk, he would push me down, so I had to learn to run to avoid his pushes and slide tackles. But I think more than that, I didn't just get my speed because of his abuse. I think I got my speed because I always had a role model. When I was a baby, I saw him walking, so I wanted to walk. When I was a kid and his friends would roughhouse me, I wanted to be there playing with them. I wanted to be right with the boys, doing what they were doing. When he was in high school and started to excel, I wanted to excel. When he got a college scholarship, I wanted a college scholarship. When he played pro baseball, I'm going to be a pro runner. He set the tone for everything for me. Ooh, not me crying. Okay. I really think I get my competitive spirit and my drive from my brother. So I thank you for that, and I love you. I also have the best parents anyone could ask for. I think everyone says that, but I really think it's true. My mom was a world-class athlete. She was a professional runner. The times that she ran, when she ran still, would put her on podiums at world-class stages today. When I think I was 6 years old, she got inducted into the Villanova Hall of Fame, where she went to college, and she was the only woman amongst her Hall of Fame class. And some woman came up to me and was like, oh, which one of these is your dad? And I said, it's my mama. So I think she really gave me that fearlessness, the belief that anything a boy can do, a girl can do too, and a girl can do better. So thank you for that. And my dad is the only one out of us who is not a pro athlete. But he did coach us, all 3 of us, at different points throughout our life. And I think that is maybe even more impressive to have had someone who has developed 3 professional athletes across 2 different sports. If you go to Bloomfield High and you step into their gym, he was a track coach there. And if you see all the 90 state championships, that was him. So I just kind of had a dream team around me that I was so lucky to be born into. Losing my place, I'm sorry. And everything that they did was so I could accomplish my dreams. When I was 9 years old, I watched the 2004 Olympics and Allison Felix at 18 years old get a gold medal. That's a deep cut for track fans. And I said, I'm going to a big school. I'm getting a scholarship. I'm going to run pro. I'm going to run the Olympics. All of it but the Olympics. But I think my parents heard me and they were like, all right, whatever we need to do to get you, those are your goals, that's what you want, we're gonna bust our butt to make sure you make that. And it's so special to have a family who not only wants the best for you and will do whatever they can to give that to you, but will also hold you accountable. If I had a bad race, a bad game, a bad practice, they would call me on it. They're not gonna enable me. And they were like, if you say you wanna get to this level, that's not gonna cut it, you gotta do it. But it's so much more than that. It's like so many things that you don't really realize at the time, right? It's whenever I needed new spikes, new shoes, basketball shoes, even socks so I looked like the other players on the court. It was them driving 14 hours through the night so I could race at nationals. It was them flying me out to Oregon so I could run against college kids. It was every single thing, and they did it without a thought. And I'm so, so incredibly grateful for that. So thank you. I don't think I've thanked you enough for it, but I really realize it now, too, as I've gotten older. They support me wholeheartedly with anything that I choose to do. It's such a blessing to know that you always have people behind you and in your corner and that will fight to the death so you can accomplish your dreams. And I was able to because of them. So I did run cross country, I did play basketball, but yeah, it's no secret track and field's my first love. It has given me everything. I've made so many friends. I've gone so many places. 5 out of my 6 bridesmaids were my teammates from college. School for free. It is also, I would say, probably part of why I'm a lawyer. Once I retired, I was like, you know what? I actually wanted to go to law school to do sport and entertainment. I do litigation now. And I switched to litigation because I was like, I miss that competitive drive. I need to be on a stage, and I like there being a winner and a loser, and what better to do that than to like stand in court and argue and advocate for your client. I think track just gave me so many tools to become who I am today. And losing my place again. I also think it helped me snag my husband because when we first started dating, I was still running pro, and it looks really cool to say that you're a professional athlete. He doesn't know anything about track, but so it definitely sounded a lot cooler than it actually was, but made me look good on our first date. But yeah, track means everything to me. It's injected into my veins. Part of our honeymoon was going to the Paris Olympics. And of course, I forced us to only go see track events. And we saw the 800 final, which was the event that I ran. I'm like crying because obviously I want to be a part of it. And he's there patting my back, being like, are you okay? But also just so happy to be there. He watched the Netflix Sprint documentary because he wanted to learn more about track for me. So I love you too. You weren't really there at the beginning, but thank you for being there now. I'm almost done, I swear, but I have to really, really quickly, I really want to shout out the Windsor women's track and field team. I think they're the most dominant team at Windsor High. We can fight about it later. They have won, I believe, almost every single class state championship, except for maybe one since 2010 in outdoor track. They win so much, it's not even talked about. It's like expected. It's like UConn girls basketball in the early 2000s, right? And I just want to shout them out. I feel really, really lucky that I was able to be there for part of the legacy that they're building, to just be kind of like a stitch in that fabric. So I just wanted to shout out Windsor Girls Track and Field, which my mom still coaches. She's part of that, and she's done a lot of the work there. My husband's also going to hate me for saying this, but we call 2024 the year of Sydney. He said it once, and I know he regrets it because I did not let it go. Just because I had a lot of major life events happen to me this year. But to be able to end the year with this and being inducted is just the most special full circle moment. It's really such a great honor. And I think what's also really great about it too was this fall, I had some time between when I graduated school and started work in New York, and I was able to come back and coach with my mom. My mom's also the head cross-country coach, and I was an assistant with her and Nicole Donzella. And to be able to work with my mom on the coaching side, from being the athlete, now the coach, it really was amazing. It was like a master class in coaching. She's really inspiring, and to be able to see what she does for her athletes. And I saw it for myself, and obviously you kind of think, it's like, well, I'm her daughter, so she's gonna, favor me a little bit. But like, no, she treats all of her athletes the same way she taught me, or treated me. And to see how the athletes respect her, how she can adjust her coaching to fit each and every individual, how well they flourish and progress under her, it's really, really special. But coming back to this, to be able to end the year at Sydney, to get inducted into Hall of Fame really is a great honor. It's very nostalgic, very great. I love Windsor so much. I brag about the town all the time, the diversity, the academics, the athletics, the little things like the Shad Derby. I had to shout that out because I was Shad Derby queen. But like Brown's Harvest, just the little things that Windsor has that makes it really special, and even this included. So thank you so much for inducting me. This is such an honor. I hope you all have a great night. Thank you.
Okay, the year of Sydney. So, our next inductee is Melissa Orzechowski Berardino. Did I get that right? I want to get it right. Can you tell me it? Berardino. Okay. Class of 2013 swimming. Introducing Melissa is her coach, Erica Fangiulo.
I know you're all watching me walk up with my phone and not paper. I had a very major meltdown at my house today when my printer ran out of ink because I hate this. And then I saw Tracy and Ron walk with their phones and felt a whole heck of a lot better. So this is the first time I'm actually going to talk from my phone because I usually do not do it. But since it's been the comment of the night, paper versus phone, I'm going with phone. And also, just please keep in mind for us, for myself and Missy and everybody coming after, we are coming after Sydney. So, like, Sydney maybe should have gone last, as she is such a great speaker. But I did want to congratulate all the members of this incoming class. I had the pleasure of having Sydney and Quinn, both as students. And it was a pleasure to not only watch over their careers in high school, but to follow them and their lives. Jordan and Aaron, I don't think I had you as students. If I did, I'm very embarrassed right now, but I think I knew you guys in high school very well from watching your football and baseball all the time, and you know I was always around the track as well. I think I was still doing some officiating back then. And football team, I was at that games, of course, so. I had watched Melissa grow up in the pool. I came from the pool today. I came from a water acts meet right before I came here. I was rushing around, and it was just kind of like, as Sydney said, a full circle moment because that's where I first got to see her swim. She was a talent even before she got to Windsor High School. Her waterettes coach, Neil, used to say that he couldn't wait to see what she could do with actual pool time because, you know, we have limited pool time and as you get older. Her freshman year boasted one of the largest classes of freshmen I have ever seen in my 22 years as the head coach. 12 freshmen, and we graduated 12. We had one leave and one come in. And that was one of my largest classes that I ever had. Melissa's freshman year was not exactly what she hoped for, as she did not finish the season due to having some growth spurt injuries in her shoulders. A lot of times swimmers, you know, attest shoulder injuries to swimming, but it actually wasn't overuse injuries. So she had to make some tough decisions about getting surgery, which she did. But despite all of this, even as her freshman year, she still earned all conference honors out of dual meet results, which is very non-traditional. If you know anything about swimming, your fastest times come at your taper meets, which are at the end of the year. And she was able to be on that all-conference team as a freshman, even without her taper meet. Sophomore year was rehab year. As a distance swimmer, taking the time to heal is always difficult, and the comeback and trusting yourself to do that and to work hard is even harder. I really remember this time well, because it was kind of a balance between how much do we push and how much do we, she has to feel herself. We pushed enough to have some success at the end of the season. Her first meet on her comeback, she's gonna die when I say this, but her first sophomore year, I had a lot of good fun times looking through old archives of things. In her 500 free, which is the longest event in high school, her time was a 6:06, which is not very fast. But in her last meet at state, she went a 5:30. So she, worked her way up. She still is gonna scoff at that time as well. But she finished 22nd overall in Class L, which at the time, the 5:30 was her lifetime best. She was feeling better and looking forward to training throughout the winter and the summer into next fall. The next year, we were back in Class M, thank goodness, and Melissa was ready. She finished 8th in the 200 free and 6th in the 500 free, and then dropping her time to a 5:23 over the 2 state meets. But she had some really big goals senior year. 2012 proved to be Missy's most successful year. She finished 9th in the 200 free, dropping 2 seconds at finals. Her time would have put her 7th, but you can't move up in heats and finals. And finishing 4th in the 500 free with a 5:16. She did not make the open in the 200 free, but she did in the 500 free, where she finished 8th overall with a time of 5:11.71, and that time is still our school record today. Also of note, Melissa was an excellent student and was not only the Scholar Athlete for Windsor High School her senior year, she was also awarded the Scholar Athlete of the Year for girls swimming in CIAC. She went on to have a successful career at Clark University, where the longer event, the better for her. She was one of those, runners are the same things. Those people who do those crazy marathon running. I'm still waiting for Missy to get into those long distance swimming, but she's done. It was kind of a neat time in swimming and in social media around that time, where there was social media, but it wasn't nearly as prevalent as it is right now. But it was nice to be able to watch her follow her meets through Meet Mobile, and her younger brother Kyle was also swimming as well, so it was nice to keep the family kind of close. She went to Clark University. You can kind of read some of her accolades in the bio that's in the program. But it was nice because it was close enough where I was able to get to a whole bunch of meets when she was in college. And we had some other swimmers swimming in the same conference as well, so when they had their conference meet, it was really kind of nice to be able to go see a bunch of people. I got to see one of her 3rd place finish at her New Max her senior year, and that was kind of nice to see. She still holds a whole bunch of records at Clark. I was just glancing, Clark University still has, and many colleges do have their top 10 all-time recorded times. I don't know if she even knows those are still up there, but currently, she still holds the school record in the 200 free, the 500 free, the 1,000 free, and the 1650 free. She has the 2nd fastest time in the 100 back, the 200 back, the 50 back. 3rd fastest time in Clark history in the 100 free, the 50 back, the 50 fly, the 100 fly. 5th fastest time in the 400 IM, and 6th fastest time in the 200 IM, which I almost spit my water out when I read that, because she does not do breaststroke. So she does it enough to be in the top 10, so I was very happy to see that. She was an NCAA qualifier as well. She's really made a name for herself at Clark. She also has won a bunch of academic awards. It was great to see her excel after her surgery, trust herself, and continue to grow. Melissa works as a physician's assistant, which she is working part-time because she has a beautiful little girl named Nora, who is a little over 1, and she's married to her husband, Ethan. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Melissa Orzakowski-Berrio as the next member of the Windsor Athletic Hall of Fame.
All right. I'm going to ask my husband, can you hear me? We're good? Okay. I've never really spoken into a mic, so bear with me, everyone. Thank you to the board for, giving me this wonderful honor. Congratulations to all fellow athletes here today, and those who couldn't be with us, those represented by family tonight. I was fortunate to really have my swimming career start and end in the Windsor High School pool. I saw some renovations through the time, but I started as a little kid in the backyard, and my parents thought maybe we should do something more than just swimming lessons. So they got me to the town team, and I was fortunate that Neil Bolio kind of saw a little talent in me and took a kid who liked to swim under the water and kind of taught me how to swim on top of it. And I swam with him for over a decade, and I'm forever grateful for what he taught me in and out of the pool, and just forever loving the sport itself. As you know, Erica was the one to coach me and rehab me through some dark times there in terms of my athletic career. But we always had fun. She was pulling up pictures of our biathlon where we had to swim, run for some reason, and swim again. And I tried to forget those days there. Yeah. And I had a wonderful coach at Clark who got me to a point where I was competing on a national level, which I never expected in my time. But I wouldn't be here today, as many of you have already acknowledged, without my family, who, excuse me, sacrificed so much for my passion. My siblings, who had their own sports that they were doing, they spent too many hours on a pool deck or in a car with me going to my practices and meets. My mom, who was at everything anyways, became an official, so it was worth her time a little bit to give back. Grandma was there, I don't know how many times. And my father, who's not with us anymore, I will always have a memory of him in the stands. He'd pop in when he needed to, and I would see him when I breathed. So now that I'm a mom, I realize a little bit more what my family has done for me. I hope that I can raise my daughter to have a passion for something. I'm hoping sports. That she can work towards a goal, learn from it, failures, successes, and meet some really awesome people along the way. So thank you, everyone. Congratulations to all, and thank you.
Okay, our next inductee, Robert Quinn Fleeting, class of 2013 football, and introducing Quinn is coach and father, Robert Fleeting.
Good evening, everybody. Just wanted to start off with this. When I got hired to coach at Windsor, when I was an incoming ninth grader, and the best call I got was a call from Mike Tyler, who was the head football coach at Northwest Catholic, and he said, congratulations, but I need to have a conversation with you. I said, what you want to talk about? He said, I coached two of my sons. And he said, when I coached my last son, I didn't know how to draw the line between being a coach and being a dad, and it kind of destroyed our relationship. So I said, you do me a favor. You coach the hell out of your son when he's at practice. when you get home, shut it off. You be a father. So with that being said, I'll need all my former players, and if there's some current ones in here, I'm a father tonight. So I'm gonna brag on my boy real quick. Congrats to all the inductees tonight. They all are record holders. Also my son. Google, that's my guy. I didn't realize how good of a memory he had. Since he was a little boy, he always wanted to come with me when I was coaching at Weaver. Always. Used to always have me pick him up and stuff. One day, when I was married to his mom, I came home and she said, "We gotta talk." I said, "What's going on?" She said, "Quinn was in the basement reciting a song, cursing and everything." I said, "No, he wasn't." "Yes, he was." I said, "He got that from your side of the family, hanging with your nephews and everything." She said, "Well, let's go ask him where he got that from." So I went in the basement. I said, what was you singing?" He said, "Dad, I was singing that song that y'all play in the locker room at Weaver. the Mobb Deep song with all the curse words and everything." I said, "Oh, man, it ain't got me in trouble." But that's with that being said, my son, I don't know if you realize that I realize how much you love me. I think everything that he does it to impress me. I spent a lot of money on AAU basketball, and he got to high school and acted like he was a football player. I'm like, what are you doing? It's confusing, but he just wanted to show me that that he was my guy. You know what I mean? He's everything that I ever wanted in a son. He's I think he's spiritual. The best story ever told, but I gotta share this with y'all. I'm picking him up from JFK Elementary School. I said, I gotta run and pick him up. He keep calling me. I gotta go back to Hartford, to Weaver to get to practice. And we in the car, and I think he was probably like 9 years old maybe. And he said, "Dad, who's my real father?" Hold on. I said, "Man, what you talking about?" He said, "You are not my real father." I said, "Quinn, what the F are you talking about? What did your mother tell you?" He said, "She ain't tell me nothing." I said, "Well, who's your real father?" He said, "God's my real father, man." I said, "Oh, man." I said, man, don't ever do that again." I said, "But yes, he is. Yes, he is." But I wanted to thank my family, my sisters, my oldest daughter, Miss Curry, Molly, Missy, my brother Jermaine. These coaches have been coaching with me for a long time. They helped me raise my kids. They helped me raise Quinn. And even today, he comes to practice. He has his son with him, carrying him around and everything. And I think that I think he's still trying to be like me. You're way better than me, man. So I just want you to know that I love you. I am very proud of you. And if I had the choice, I'm taking you every goddamn time. Quinn Fleeting.
First, I want to thank the board. Can y'all hear me? Oh, goddamn, you can now. Just want to thank the board for inducting me, acknowledging me, because that's, like everybody else already said, is a big honor. But it takes you guys to make that call. So I want to thank you guys first. First, I would like to thank, congratulate to everyone here to receiving an award as well. I would actually like to thank first Coach Smith. He's the basketball coach at Windsor High. I played my freshman year. I played my sophomore year, but I didn't play my junior year because I just wanted to focus on football, which was a bad idea, but I didn't play my junior year. Then senior year, they were halfway through the season, and as some of you know in this room, Windsor basketball is usually good every year. And I think it was like 8 games left, and they was playing a home game. And afterwards, I went up to my dad, and I was like, I think I want to play. Like, I wish I played. Then he was like, just go ask him. What's the worst that could happen? He says no, but you got to at least ask him. So I went up to him and I said, Coach, you think I could play? And he said, yeah, come to practice tomorrow. And that's huge because as we all get older, we always reminisce about high school and our experience in high school. And basketball for me, that was part of my high school experience and my journey. And without him, him saying yes and allowing me to play. And he played me early and often. And I know as a coach, politically, you would get a lot of pushback from just letting someone just come in.
That's because you was very good.
Just letting someone come in and start playing. So I thank him for that. I want to first thank Mrs. Curry, my mother-in-law over there. She has been supporting me since me and my wife started dating. I'm losing a bet right now because I said I want to cry when I come up here, so I try to hold it in. But she's just a huge support. I remember my first job after I graduated college, and it was a job tour. You dress up nice. And I remember I came home from football practice, and Molly had a bunch of. She had like probably 10 dress shirts, a couple of jackets, and some dress pants. I'm like, wow, you went shopping for me? She was like, no, my mom got it. I was like, okay. Nice lady, but she doesn't have to do things like that. She's nice. She does for me anytime I need her. And anything I need, if I ever needed something, and I know without a doubt she would get it for me. So I thank her for that. Secondly, I want to thank my aunts that's here, my Aunt Leah and my Aunt Honey. Huge influentials for me growing up. They did discipline me as well growing up. I deserved it most of the time. But I truly thank them. I want to thank my uncle, Jermaine, who's like a second father figure for me. It's huge for males. Any male in this world definitely needs a father figure in his life, just to be taught how to become a man. And he's played a big part in that. I want to thank my sister, Brittany. Brittany a little crazy. But one thing, she loves her brother. She was always supporting me, everything I did. When we was kids, she always used to beat me up. She can't do it anymore, but when we was kids, she beat me up. But she was my number one fan growing up. She always bragged about me when I played, so thank you to her. Now these last two people I want to thank. It could be a birthday party. It don't matter what it is. This is a big event, but it could be my wife or my dad's birthday, and I'm gonna cry if I talk about them. So just bear with me. I want to thank my wife. I know everybody trying to go home, so stand by. I'm tired too, but I love the people that stand in my corner. So they're hard to talk about. But my wife and me, we have been dating since April 15th, 2010. So our spring of our freshman year of high school. We graduated, and she went out to school in Iowa. She went to a chiropractic school called Palmer, and I was still in college locally. So we're 1,000 miles away. Never took a break, right? Never said we needed some time away for each other, at least through college. Nope, we stayed together the whole way. She has done a lot for me, and she knows that. I could talk all night about her, but I'm gonna try to keep it short. She is a very strong woman. I want to congratulate her on having our first child, our 6-month-old son. He was born 10 pounds, 4 ounces. And my wife, we did a at-home birth, so no pills, no drugs, straight pushing the whole time. So I admire her for that. I admire her for that. That's a tough process, and I have a whole new respect for her, because that's tough for all women. But especially if you're not, taking any drugs or anything like that during the process. So she knows I love her. I thank her, and besides my father, she's the best thing that ever happened to me up to this point. Now my dad, he started off his speech saying he didn't take coaching home. That is a lie. Cut that out right now. He definitely bought it home. Yeah, my dad's my everything. He's definitely the reason why I'm standing here. He's made me the person who I am. And 3 things that my dad always taught me as a kid, and I still carry on as an adult. He taught me a lot, but the 3 that always stick with me was, 1, that everything's not okay. I remember, and what he meant by that was when I was playing sports, especially as a kid. You lose a game. You have parents telling their kids, and it's not wrong, but they're telling their kids that it's all right, don't worry about it. It's all right, don't worry about it. He always used to tell me, like, it's not always all right. And there's a funny story. We was in I think it was A-team in Midget League, Windsor Giants, and we was playing Glastonbury in like a championship game, and we was losing 21-0. We was killing everyone that year, but for some reason we were just losing this game. And it's halftime, and we're walking back on the sideline, and the cheerleaders had a bunch of box of cookies for all the players. So the cheerleaders ran to all of us, and they're giving us cookies. I was upset. I wasn't gonna grab a cookie. So I'm standing there just shaking my head like, I can't believe everybody's getting cookies right now. We're leaving 21-0. And all I can hear my dad yell from the stands, excuse my language, he'd be like, you better not touch no damn cookies. And I was like, but I was just him saying, it's not all right. And as I'm an adult, right, it's not all right to not be a good husband. It's not all right to not be a father and be there for your kids. Right, it's not all right to not be there for your family when they need you. Right, those things aren't all right. Because one day, you're going to be the man you're the number 1 man of your household and of your family. So you have to be there when things aren't all right. You know it's not all right, but you got to let everybody know that we going to be all right as a family. The second thing was he always told me as a kid, he always said, I'm not always going to be here. My dad was he raised me on tough love. Right? When I did things wrong, he disciplined me, as he should. Right? I know now we live in a world to where that's not really a lot of people are against that, and I get it. But right, I know what I know. I think I'm a good guy. Other people think that too. And I love the way I was raised. Like I said, he disciplined me. He made me, do yard work. Right? I remember he always used to tell me to take out the trash, but a lot of time it was full. I'm like, Dad, it won't close. He said, don't come back in this house until it's closed. So you take that trash around. But just little stuff like that. Just little stuff like that. It goes a long way. Because one thing, and I say that to say this, even though he disciplined me a bunch, one thing my dad always did, he always showed me that he loved me. That was one. So that's why I didn't mind. I would do anything my dad would tell me to do, and there was never a question. If I never asked or thought, like, does my dad not like me? That's never a thought. He always made sure he loved me. He'll show me tough love. I think it's different when you're a father. You have a son. You kind of have to. It's hard to balance both. But he done tons of things to show me his love. He would always bring us to New York the week after Christmas to Times Square just to have fun. One big thing I admire him for, when my parents got divorced at a young age, and we were just staying with my dad in Windsor. My dad did not know how to cook, so dinner sucked for a while. And I was with him through his journey. He taught himself how to cook, and the food became good. But that's tough as a man. But that dude loved his kids, and to me, he was a great father, and I appreciate him for all the discipline and everything he put me through. My aunt too, she disciplined me as well. Lastly, which is for me is the most important, he always told me that you represent your last name in everything you do. Right, in the school building, you do something wrong, you represent your last name. And he always told me, don't embarrass his family. right? So one thing I admire about football, I'm an adult now. I don't think I actually love the game. I love the feeling I got from it. Because he always tell me, again, you represent your last name. So for when my games, I love the feeling before a game, or my sisters coming to my games and then enjoying me, watching me play. I love when my dad watched me play. Right? I love that feeling before the game. You getting all excited, you kind of black out because you're just excited to play. You're getting hyped up. I like the feeling. Right? And when it comes to the representing your last name, I carry that now deeply, moving up as an adult, because it's a real true statement. It's a real true statement, and I never wanted to embarrass my dad, my mom, my sisters. Now I have a son, I have a wife. Right, I'm number one now in my household. So this Hall of Fame is very, very important to me because I didn't want to come up here and talk about football so much. I didn't really want to talk about what I did in high school and college because I lived my life for my family and my last name, and this award is just not for me, but it's for my family. So thank you.
All right. That was nice. Good message. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that message. It was strong. Thank you. So our next inductee is a team. It's our 2014 Class L Boys Football State Championship team. And speaking for that team is Coach Rob Fleeting.
Yes, sir. I wanted to thank the, they're gonna come up here. Before I introduce these guys, I just wanted to thank the legends that's in the room. Coach Smith, the way that you run your program, I mean, I look up to you. It is a pleasure to be in the same community as you. And I just want you guys who are in this room to understand that Coach Smith, Coach Welch is also a great man. And I appreciate you, Coach Welch. Coach Ron Wilson, Coach Vinny Sanfrani, so many championship coaches in here. And if I'm missing somebody, I apologize. Even Coach Folt's a championship coach. My friend over there, Erica Fangiulo, I'm thankful for you also. But it's an honor for your team to be accepted into the Windsor High School Hall of Fame. I think Windsor's a special place. It is. I don't think it is a special place. It's a special place to be. I had sold my house back in December, and I didn't realize what it really meant when they said it's hard to find a house. And I kept telling my lady, I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not moving anywhere else but Windsor. So we just kept waiting. We finally found a place in Windsor. It's the only place I want to be. And it's because of a great community, a great community, and I'm very thankful for you guys. Right now I want to call up the coaches. Coaches, will you guys come up here from 2014 team? This is Coach Giovanni Daniels. Seth Mangiafico. Jermaine Fleeting. Tyrone Abrahams. And Paul Broxton. Just a funny story, when that clock was winding down in 2:14, I saw something I had never thought I'd see before. He was on 130-yard line, he was on the other one, Coach Mangiafico, and they met at the 50, and Coach Daniels jumped in his arms. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. It was joy, but we messed with them all the time about that. But we was able to see the soft side of Coach Mangiafico. Coach Mangiafico don't usually show a soft side, but it was a special moment. Can all the players come up, please? From 2014. We got Timothy Gardner, Thomas DeVille, Mark Lurie, and Walter Craig. Just like to take this moment to see if any coach wanted to say anything. Any coach or any player. Here you go, Coach Mangiafico.
I said, you think I will say something? It's been said all night long, to be honest, but what a wonderful place that Windsor is, right? I'm not from Windsor. I was fortunate enough 100 years ago to start coaching with Mark. And then through the years I stayed, I got to coach great guys, Aaron, all these other gentlemen. Met great guys that work with Kenny Smith, everybody else in this beautiful town. This is a wonderful place, and just be honored that you have such a place. It's a special place.
Coach Abraham, all you do is talk, Coach. Come on. Come on.
Congratulations to everybody that was here tonight that received awards, those and inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's always a special time. I'm happy that I'm alive this year, because last year, this time I was in the hospital. So I'm kind of cool to be here. No Clint, I didn't make a bet about crying, and I'm not going to do it. I want to thank my wife. Most of all, I'd like to thank that special 2018 team. They were very good. 2014. But
18 were good too.
But what some of those same kids that were around were also around Aaron, and some were around Quinn. And they also learned from them. So it was a special group of kids. I don't know what kind of music your dad was letting you listen to. Never heard that kind of stuff without. But coaching with Fleet was an adventure, but it was all love all the time. Especially when I had to peel him off with Quinn in the middle of games. Remember those days? Leave him alone. No. But thank you to everybody. Thank you to the board. Feeling real special right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm on my third house in Windsor, so I'm not going anywhere. Well, I will, but it'll be in a box. I just want to say how special this group of men are. We've become brothers, whether we're still coaching together or not. We pick up the conversation that we left a year ago or 18 months ago, and I can't say enough about being a part of this family and being a part of this family. Thank you for the privilege.
You players come this way, please. This doesn't happen without you guys. It would be great if at least one of you guys could talk.
So to start out, we appreciate you guys for being here. We appreciate everyone that's supporting, but also we're just glad to be able to experience this. It's not something that everybody gets to experience. It's a Hall of Fame induction ceremony. That means that from the work that we put in for all of the inductees, the work that you put in at some point in your life paid off greatly, and you're being honored for that. So we appreciate this from you guys.
Congratulations to everybody, all the other inductees. Just like Kylan just said, it definitely is great to be here and a great feeling to be a part of the celebration of all the new inductees of the Hall of Fame. I would also like to say I'm also a coach with Coach Fleet and the rest of the coaching staff now, and it's really, really nostalgic every day. I work at Sage Park, and it's just a full circle moment. So one quote that sticks with me is just like, working, when you work, would you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. You know what I'm saying? So I love Windsor, as everybody said, I'm not going nowhere. So yes, thank you everybody.
I just want to say thank you. Appreciate everybody. It's a very big honor to get put in the Hall of Fame. And that year, I was a young guy on the team. I was a sophomore, so I was just I didn't want to be the young guy to mess up and cause us to lose. So I went out there and did my best, and the coaches always supported me and made me feel like I could do more than I ever could, and I really appreciate them for that.
Hello, everybody. I just want to say thank you for inducting us, and that's really it.
Thank you, everybody.
You guys, real quick, right here. Thank you. You can find out where it takes the poster.
Okay. So our last inductee, last but not least, is Mike Spadafora as a distinguished contributor. Accepting this honor for Mike is his daughter, Christine. So I'm assuming, is she coming to speak? Is somebody coming up to speak in his honor, and then mom or wife is gonna come? Okay.
You want to come up here? Can I use that? Just easier.
Good evening. My name is Christine Spadafora Zarella. I'm the oldest child of inductee Mike Spadafora. It's really an honor to be amongst these amazing athletes tonight. Congratulations to you all. On behalf of his wife, Arlene, my mom, his 6 children and 12 great-grandchildren gathered here tonight, we thank the Windsor Athletic Hall of Fame for honoring our dad, Michael Spadafora, and inducting him into the Windsor Athletic Hall of Fame. He would be most pleased with this honor if he were here today. Our dad never played soccer. As a youth growing up in Pittsfield, Mass., our dad and his brother spent much of their free time involved in basketball and baseball. He related to us how they spent many hours at the boys' club in town practicing and participating in pickup games. At UMass, my dad was asked to play basketball but chose to dedicate his time to his engineering degree. Always a sports lover, Dad played softball for Hamilton Standard, his employer, and basketball and golf in town leagues in his adulthood. When our father became a dad, he made soccer his passion and began a great soccer program. He was a great director and coach of the game. Having never played soccer, My dad launched into the sport like he did most things, by educating himself. He taught himself the fundamentals of the game by reading books and watching videos, all of which we found when we were cleaning out his office. We have fond memories of our dad holding countless evening meetings around our dining room table, along with his co-founders, Al Collette, Bob Delasander, and Dick Fraley. It was there that they spent many hours establishing the guiding principles for this newly formed Windsor Youth Soccer Association. Education and training were the primary tenets of his youth soccer program. My father was insistent that every child played every game. Not only did they play every game, but they must play at least 2 quarters. Because the intra-town league was not meant to be a highly competitive league, coaches were advised to hold only 2 practices a week for the sake of team balance. Certificates of participation, rather than trophies, were recommended at the end of the season. The league sponsored a pizza party for all the participants to celebrate the season. This league involved girls and boys aged 7 to 14 years old. The program grew from about 100 players in 1972 to 1,000 Windsor youth participating in the league in its heyday. In this program, education was not only imparted to the youth learning the game of soccer, my dad also took the time and effort to train all the coaches. He wanted them to have the knowledge of the game's fundamentals and was always finding new drills that would help teach and develop the skills. His main goal was that the fundamentals of the game were learned by every player. He later trained youth referees who eventually refereed the games in the program. This program was used as a model for many youth soccer programs in the area. My brother Tony recalled my dad's desire to model excellent practices of the game. My dad recruited Tom Malloy to come to a practice at Pequannock School to do a ball juggling demonstration. At that time, Tom was a professional soccer player for the Hartford Hellions and held the world record for juggling. Every kid at the session spent the next few weeks juggling nonstop. When the program began, they wanted every player to receive a complete but inexpensive uniform. I wish we had a shirt. This included a pair of white shorts, a team shirt, and a pair of socks. We know this because come August every year, big boxes of these items were shipped to our house. The house became a distribution center with uniforms all over the living room, dining room, family, and garage. The whole family was employed, separating and putting together the uniforms for each team. We also helped assemble the practice bags for each coach, containing appropriately sized balls and cones. My mom showed her support by helping with the assembling and letting her house being taken over for each new season. My dad's love of the game of soccer grew. In 1986, he decided to further his own skills and become a FIFA ref. If you knew my dad, physical fitness was an intricate part of his everyday life. And I had a fitness chart that he made, but I forgot to bring it up. Being a FIFA ref was not much of a stretch, knowing his knowledge of the game and his fitness level. You could always see him running through the neighborhood, Northwest Park, or at the soccer fields to be sure he was in top shape. He was able to ref high school games and Division II college games from 1986 to 1996. One highlight of his refereeing experiences was refereeing in the Special Olympic World Summer Games in 1995, which were held in Connecticut. You cannot run a successful youth program or get to the level of referee attained without a supportive partner. Although Mom, Arlene Spadafora, also never played the game of soccer. Between her 5 children playing soccer, I know she logged in thousands of hours at the soccer field in town and in close neighboring towns over the years. She was our #1 cheerleader. All of my siblings are products of the Windsor Youth Soccer Program, except me, I played field hockey. Some of my teammates are here. My 3 brothers and both of my sisters went on to play soccer for Windsor High School, for which my dad was very proud. In their retirement, my parents enjoyed traveling to watch their grandchildren play the game of soccer, inspiring and encouraging yet another generation to love the game. Soccer was my dad's passion. The Windsor Youth Soccer Association was a success due to his countless hours of planning, preparing, training, and coaching. Hundreds of Windsor youth were introduced to the game of soccer due to his efforts. We are so proud of his accomplishment. Thank you, the committee, for recognizing his dedication and success. Thank you for Ellen for nominating him. And if he was here, he would be quite thrilled with this honor. Thank you so much for thinking.
I just want to say thank you to everyone for this honor for my husband. And I know he's looking down and smiling and so happy. Thank you.
Family want to come up or all right, we'll just do the two.
All right. This was really nice. Not because I was a part of organizing it, but because it just was nice. It was good to see Windsor High come together, Windsor High athletes of the past. It was young people, right? So we're here to celebrate while we're older. I always say this, while we're older, we're celebrating you as a youth and then also you as young men and women. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate it just listening to the words, heartfelt words, the sincerity and genuine love for your teammates and your family and your coaches. It really came through. And so I appreciate that. So I'm not saying it's nice because I help organize. I'm saying it's nice because it just was nice to hear all of you speak and see you. And so that was nice. For lack of a better word, we always say, kids, what does nice mean, right? I could go into it. But before we finish up, I want every inductee to understand these boards are yours. So when you leave, make sure you take them, all right? While we think you're nice and had a great time, I'm not putting your face in my office, all right? So you take it, sign it off, give it to whoever you want to give it to, if you like. We also want to remind you again that your support in keeping this event going is really, really important. It's extremely important. It's important in a lot of ways because the culture we're developing here, have developed over the years in Windsor High, needs to be recognized. And we need to make sure that everyone can come and tell their story the way they want to tell it. And so we want to make sure that you get one of those sheets in the back. If you have teammates, coaches, or that you feel should be nominated, please make sure you take that and you send it in nominated because that's the way we do it. We're not gonna, they won't get nominated. They won't get chosen if they're not nominated. It's like that whole, you have to be in it to win it, right? So let's make sure that we get our other people acknowledged. I'm gonna end with a lesson. It's about limits and spheres. And so I read it because I had to jot this down. I can't remember it, so I have it on my phone. So I guess I'm dual paper and technology. But the great Michael Jordan, in his Hall of Fame speech, ended by stating, "Limits and fairs are most often illusions. They just don't exist." When people tell you cannot do things because you don't add up, it's an illusion. It absolutely does not exist. The inductees here tonight are evidence that everything is possible. Thank you all for coming out. I hope you had a great time. I know I did. Please drive home safely. Congratulations.